here in Akron, what we're dealing with is a lot of unemployment, furloughed workers because of COVID-19. And now that the governor of the state of Ohio has come in with a new set of rules because our numbers are surging through the roof, now he wants to close the restaurants back down. You can do pickup service only. But these are things that we were already worried about that would happen if they opened up the economy too soon. So I think here our concern is, did you open the economy too soon because you were listening to what Mr. Trump said? Or was it because you really cared about the economy and the people? And for us, it looks more like the economy instead of the people, because now we have this surge going on. Just 2 days ago, we hit record numbers of 1,300 cases in one day in the state of Ohio, and it keep climbing. And we had free testing here for the residents in Summit County. We had close to 1,500 people show up to get tested because everyone is worried. First it was you had to have a doctor's excuse or a note from the doctor. Now it's like we'll test anybody. And it's a concern for us because now you're closing down the restaurants where they had essential workers. Now the ones that were working, now they're not working. The ones that were getting unemployment, their unemployment is about to end. So now if you're closing the restaurants, where do those people go? Where do they work? How do they pay their rent? We anticipate probably one of the highest eviction rates here in the city of Akron come August.
I called it kind of when these states were reopening. I was like, this is a capitalist death cult. I mean, you have a pandemic that we don't really know everything about. It's not under control. There's no vaccine.
Right.
Even if you're reopening, you have to have customers to meet overhead. Well, a lot of people have been laid off. A lot of people's hours have been cut. And there's no way in a lot of these restaurants, just due to air circulation, the architecture, to really have it like completely socially distanced, where you just look at Europe. They were saying, you know what? We as the government, we're just going to backstop. We're going to cover payrolls, keep people home, longer lockdowns, and slower reopenings. And they are not having, in most places, this massive increase. Can you kind of talk about, doesn't this kind of show that our priorities as a country are way out of whack? Yes, the economy, but we could have, just as the government, instead of giving $6 trillion to corporations, just given the money directly to the people and kept them home.
That's right. And I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. When you see all these corporations, whether they're hotels or the airlines or cruise ships, get all these corporate bailouts, I fought both parties for that, because as this bill passed through, you all forgot about the people. And this $1,200 stimulus check, I mean, where did they think that was going to go? A lot of those people use that money to pay their rent so they wouldn't get evicted. A lot of those people use that to catch up with bills that were past due because they're furloughed or they're laid off. A lot of those people use that to buy groceries. And it's disturbing to me that they thought $1,200 was enough for a household, especially if it's you, a spouse, and a child. I think there was an extra, if you had extra kids in the house. But how long did they think that was going to last a household with a family of 4 or 5? It wasn't going to last. So, you know, now they're saying they have another round coming in. So is this another round of giving corporations bailouts, where small businesses, they don't get bailouts, they got loans. So now they got a loan that has to be paid back. It could be a grant if they follow certain rules along the way. But did y'all do that for the corporations? Do they have to follow rules? Is it a loan for them, or was it just a bailout? We both know the answer to that. And this is what we have to think about when we start talking about going into these booths and voting for people. Like, who really has the people's best interest at heart? I mean, and that goes on both sides of the aisle. Like, you really have to know who really cares about people, or is it about that bottom dollar? Opening up the economy when we weren't ready for it. Now here we are about to have a shelter in place again. And it's very concerning to me. This area around here on this day should be bustling with people. This right here is the Northside District. It's always got people. Downtown Akron on the 4th of July every year, there will be thousands of people down there. But because of this, everything is at a standstill because everybody is worried. Even those people who swear they don't want to wear a mask, they're worried too. They still want to wear a mask. And it's concerning that we elect individuals to go down there to fight for people, and then they forget about us when they get there.
Tell me about what you're hearing from your constituents. I mean, I know you sent me, you got families staying home with sick loved ones. They're not even going out into the community. Other people, like literally, no jobs, 3 weeks away from the abyss.
Right.
What are you seeing among your constituents?
A lot of concern, wanting to know how their bills are going to get paid. I have gotten numerous emails about the utilities, how their water bill is going to be paid. Will the city be helping people pay their water bills? And thank God our mayor did release a statement saying that they would be helping through our Akron Cares with people's water bills, because of course we're under EPA decree for our CSO project, which has made our water bills go skyrocket high, and so people are concerned that their water is going to get turned off because they're not working. And to listen to those individuals, not only just concerned about that, not working, and how they're going to put food on the table, or how the rent or their mortgage is going to get paid. Now we have this other component where we're now getting ready to open our schools back up, and that's causing anxiety across the board with parents, because of course they want to work, but now you're talking about sending their kids back to school. But then if there's a surge, then the kids come out of school, and now the parents can't work, and then they're going to close daycares. So it seems like the plan that was put in place was a plan for us to fail. It was not one for us to succeed, and it's unfortunate because I think Governor DeWine started off the right way, and we all commended him for that, but then his party took over. We had a wonderful Dr. Amy Acton. I mean, they went to her house with AK-47s where her and her family live. And next thing you know, she and 27 other health commissioners across the country resigned or quit.
Wait. Could you slow down for a second? Maybe I missed this. Some folks went to the doctor's house with AK-47s?
Yes.
Can you explain what happened?
So she was the one who put in these orders to shelter in place, to stay at home orders, because she had the right to do that. That was part of her job description. And these individuals, not only did they ascend on the State House with AK-47s and AR-15s, they actually went to her house where she has a family, grandchild, with weapons, because she's trying to keep us safe. And I tell you, since the day she has resigned, which I could tell it was really hard for Governor DeWine to do that, because she was the one who was keeping our numbers going down. Since she has left, our numbers have climbed every single day, because she knows the science. He had her there for a reason. But now you're trying to put this woman's family in harm's way because she's trying to keep us safe. Can you imagine if we all, black people, walked around these communities with AK-47s and AR-15s screaming Black Lives Matter? What would happen to us?
There'd be mass blood in the streets.
But these individuals show up demanding that barbershops open so they can get haircuts with AR-15s at the State House, to the point they're banging on the windows while the governor is giving his press conference. You can hear them in the background. No tear gas was thrown at them.
I was about to say, these folks were
white. They
white.
weren't arrested. They weren't clubbed to the ground. But if the tables were turned and their color was different, what would have happened? And that's the reality of what's going on, not just here, but across this country.
They might be facing eviction in a couple of weeks, might not have health care now because they got laid off. A lot of people I've spoken to, even though they're eligible for the unemployment, they've been on the phone for hours and hours, days and days. They haven't gotten it. What should people do that are basically facing that economic cliff?
Right.
Trump and the Republicans, with the recent unemployment numbers, they're saying, it's going down. Everything's dandy. We don't need to extend this extra $600 a week. What should people do right now? Because the cliff is coming.
Oh, it's coming. I say they have to reach out to their elected officials. But those who are facing evictions, especially here in the state of Ohio, United Way is across the country. United Way was allocated millions of dollars to help people with evictions. Ours actually opens on Monday here in the city of Akron. And they'll pay your rent for 4 months. Well, that 4 months can help you. If you're behind and they pay your rent for 4 months, that gives you an opportunity to either go find some temporary work, so you can pay your bills. And I think that's what's going to, we have to have a system in place that people can maneuver to know where they can go to get help. And I don't think anyone is really doing that. And I think that's what we have to do a better job of, because are you going to let people come in your house, your family members, sleep on your couch when they get evicted? And if not, help them maneuver that system. That's what we have to do as a city, as a state, and as a country.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.